Jews don't trust in Hashem. Hashem, he lays it out for us. We don't have Nevi'im. Well, when we had Nevi'im, they wrote down everything. They wrote it all down. But Jews refuse to learn the books of the Nevi'im. So they don't know what's written down there. All of the prophecies came true. But they don't want to acknowledge that. It's become easier than ever to live in Eretz Yisrael. We don't want to acknowledge that. So I don't see how to explain it any other way than a self-imposed ignorance. And what do we need to see? Unfortunately, the thing that's going to get the majority of Jews to Eretz Yisrael is not going to be a very pretty thing. We've seen that.
I hope not.
I hope not also. But we can run away from the truth and hide under rocks and make believe that the world is going to be beautiful and everything is going to be magical and the eagles are going to pick us up. But again, that's why we have Tisha B'Av. We don't celebrate. We celebrate, again, I say celebrate, I think it is a celebration because in a certain sense where Hashem gave us, he instead of us in our lives having to go through major tragedies, other people went through tragedies for us. All we have to do is learn from them. We have that amazing opportunity that Hashem gave Eretz Yisrael to us on a golden platter. And all the lessons that we need in order to get to Eretz Yisrael, of what it looks like when Jews don't come here, that happened to people before us. And we have all the information. We have all of Jewish history. And Hashem gives us Eretz Yisrael, and we still say, no thank you. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Tisha B'Av is the story of every single tragedy. Every major tragedy started and took place on that day, on Tisha B'Av. And Tisha B'Av started with, I don't believe in God. I'm not going to follow him to the land that he told me to go to. So I don't know.
Well, the problem with, I'll tell you the problem with anti-Semitism. The problem with anti-Semitism as being the motive. First of all, it worked throughout history. Anti-Semitism has, all my neighbors who are from all the countries that they came from outside of America all came from anti-Semitism or from complete poverty. So like there were some people who came from complete poverty. I won't name the countries, but I'm sure it's obvious. And there are people who came from just persecution. But one of the things about the Meraglim was that Hashem wasn't enough. The Jews, I'm sure after God told them, listen, 40-year wait now, you're all going to die in the Midbar. You're never going to ever see this land. They're probably saying, God, please, just let us go in. We'll do tshuva. We'll go to the land. We'll make it work. It's better than dying in the desert. But Hashem wasn't going to have that. He said, no, I want you to want it. So, I kind of get on that level, I kind of get Yishai's idea of like, we really got to want it. It's not enough that we just come. But I think that one of the ways I saw in the Sefer by Rabbi Teichtel, his book, Ema Banim Smechu, where he says is that it's enough to come here because the land itself does the rest of the work. Hashem, once you're in the land, once you're here, and you're here for good, meaning when a person is in Eretz Yisrael and he already decided in his head that he's in Chutz La'aretz, when Yaakov already was in Eretz Yisrael and he thought that he was going to Chutz La'aretz, the Malachim already switched. He was in Beersheba and the Malachim already switched because he knew he was going. So you could be in Eretz Yisrael and you could move here and never be here because you say, well, I still have a house in Miami. If it doesn't work out, we're going to do a 1-year pilot trip. That doesn't work. I've heard you say that so many times. And also don't believe the people who come back. The people who come back, I'm not saying that they needed to, they failed, because some people, unfortunately, are not zocheh to be here, and they could just pray for that. But what would you tell somebody who can't come to Eretz Yisrael?